Most producers build tension with the same recycled swooshes and risers, but the artists that you love, the ones whose tracks feel alive and constantly evolving, are doing something different. So today I'm going to show you 3 ways to build tension in a completely organic way, using nothing but the sounds already in your project. These are techniques I've used for years. I've taught them to thousands of producers through Computer Music Magazine and now here at Cableguys. And by the way, if you want to take these ideas even further, grab the free demo of our award-winning Shaperbox plugin, link below. Alright, so for these examples I'm using a project written by my colleague and Cableguys founder Jakob Rang. He made this track late at night on headphones and sent it to me the next day. I loved it, so I jumped in and helped push the mix and the production a bit further. I'll play you a quick blast of the track. Now you'll notice that there are a couple of effects samples in here. There's a white noise downlifter and a reverse sound. And there's nothing wrong with using these kind of sounds to create tension, but what this track needed was something more personal. It needed tension coming from inside the arrangement, from the musical DNA of the track. So let's get into how I solved this with tension trick number 1. The standard way to make a riser is to use a synth and automate pitch and other controls. You know what I'm talking about, the same effects that everyone's been doing since 2003. But for this alternative method, I was inspired by artists like Stefan Bodzin. He plays live with a Moog synth and he twists the knobs in response to the music to create tension on the fly, and I love doing something similar with my own Moog synth too. So in this project there's this Moog style patch in Diva. And what I've done is really simple. The riff stays in tune, but I've automated only one of the oscillators to drift upwards in pitch. So instead of adding a separate riser sound on another track, you make the synth itself rise. And that movement makes the tension feel organic, like the synth is physically straining upwards as the track progresses. It's basically a secret riser hidden inside the sound itself, kind of like a tension building Trojan horse, kinda. Anyway, have a listen to how it feels in the track. Okay, let's move on to tension trick number 2. This one is inspired by a short video that I shared a while back. So here I've loaded the track's vocal in a sampler and I've looped this section. If I play this with the metronome, you can hear it's looping at a completely irregular length. It's not tied to the BPM at all, it's just whatever sounded interesting. This creates this unpredictable rhythm that weaves in and out of the groove and adds this subliminal tension. I've also added some swirly chorus to make it fluttery and wide. I think swirly is the technical term. And I've automated volume and EQ to bring this in and out of the mix and manipulate that tension. And it's also sidechained against the dry vocal, so it ducks down a bit when the main vocal plays. But to make this really come to life, I've got Pitch Shaper here. The envelope follower is on, but it's set to 0, it's not doing anything, which means I can automate this shift control to slowly pitch the sound up as the track progresses. And this turns it into a sort of a synthetic riser. It's part backing vocal, part alien effects. But it's not just some riser sample that's been slapped in. Because the tone is made from the vocal, you subconsciously accept it as part of the track, like it's organically emerging from the song itself. So let's hear it in context. And if you want to try this pitch rising trick in your tracks, plus hundreds more use cases, then grab the free Shaperbox demo, link below. Okay, let's look at tension trick number 3. This came about because I felt like this build-up section needed to get more and more intense. So I sent the entire vocal group to a return track with a simple 1/8 note delay set fully wet. But instead of automating the send and mount, I turned the send and mount up to full and I left it there. And then I automated the volume of the return track with automation. That means the vocal is always being fed into the delay, but I only reveal it for the big swelling moment. And it gives more control because you can draw and fade the delay out perfectly right before the drop, so it hits cleanly with no overlapping tails. You can also see that I automated the feedback on the delay to slowly ramp up, so the repeats become more intense and more chaotic, just like my inbox on plugin release day. But I didn't go crazy with the feedback, just enough without overwhelming the mix. And again, because I'm using the track's vocal as the sound source for the echoes, this becomes a tension tool that grows from inside the track. And like the looping vocal earlier, I'm also lightly sidechaining the echo signal from the dry vocal, just so that the dry vocal cuts through cleanly. All this creates this wall of echoes that sounds like the vocals roaring and rising, and when combined with the other tension layers, this is what it sounds like in the track. Now, if you want to push these ideas even further, try or buy our award-winning Shaperbox plugin at the link below. And it's also available in a full Cableguys bundle. You can find out more at cableguys.com. And for more tips to help you process vocals creatively, go and watch this video here. I'll see you there. Cheers.